northwestern Ontario.
It's been 1 month since Thunder Bay Mayor Ken Boshkoff first floated the idea. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. It's been 1 month since Thunder Bay Mayor Ken Boshkoff first floated the idea of freezing all non-mandated municipal hiring for the rest of the year. But despite the mayor's public statements, motion has yet to make it to a city council meeting. Lee Noonan spoke with the mayor and has more.
Facing the prospect of a 6% tax levy increase in 2024, Thunder Bay Mayor Ken Boshkoff made a public statement on August 8th suggesting a 2023 hiring freeze as a way to keep that number down. The mayor said at the time he would bring the proposal to council's next meeting and then to the one after that. When asked, the mayor initially said the matter was before the clerk, but Boshkoff has since backtracked, admitting he has not yet filed a motion, citing staffing resources and other priorities for the delay.
It's summertime, so I'm not pressuring anyone to, and we do have heavy agendas these days, and so it will come in due course.
The mayor was initially proposing a hold on filling any vacancies for the remainder of 2023 and to delay hiring for any new positions until next year. At the time, Boshkoff said a freeze would apply to all positions except where minimum staffing levels are required, but his stance has now somewhat softened.
This isn't meant to impose any kind of hard and fast rule. It's only meant that when there are vacancies that we really have to be quite studious about seeing if things could be done differently.
City Manager Norm Gale has responded to the idea of a hiring freeze, saying administration already reviews all hiring decisions very carefully.
I am aware of that response. To me, trying to find any savings seems to be a really difficult task.
Boshkoff says the idea of a freeze has been suggested to him by members of the public and city staff, and he wants to make it clear that he takes those suggestions very seriously. He says the motion will be coming to council, quote, at some point in some form, but he's not committing to any particular timeline. Lee Noonan, TBT News.
Thunder Bay residents were able to get their geek on at the CLE for the first day of ThunderCon. The event brought together fans of all different genres, various vendors, and a number of special guests, including some of the original Degrassi cast. Jessica Clement reports.
Sci-fi, fantasy, and pop culture fans flooded the CLE on Saturday to check out everything ThunderCon had to offer. This weekend's event featured a little something for everyone, including various panels, a wide genre of vendors, and cosplay contests. ThunderCon organizers say they're blown away by this year's attendance. Spokesperson Heather Dixon adds that it's amazing to see the different series and fandoms represented. And one thing Thunder Bay is super talented in is cosplay and costumes.
The quality and level of cosplay for our city, our size, is through the roof. And what is that? I have no idea. Is it our crazy, long, isolated winter? Is it we're just like super creative? I don't know what it is. But it's really, really evident, especially you look around and almost everybody's in costume.
Dixon says just like previous years, ThunderCon 2023 featured multiple special guests.
C. Andrew Nelson, he works with Industrial Light and Magic, and if you know Star Wars, you know Industrial Light and Magic. Alex Zahara, he's an actor, a Canadian actor, and he has played so many characters in so many television shows, like you've seen him, but you don't necessarily know his face because he's always in prosthetic makeup.
Attendees were also able to return to Degrassi as actors Stacey Mistyshin and Pat Mastriani, who played Caitlin Ryan and Joey Jeremiah, were on site. Fans were able to meet the pair as well as ask them questions during their panel. Mastriani says it was great being able to come out and actually meet fans.
Decades ago, we didn't do this type of events. ThunderCon is a family-friendly event where people can just come and nerd out and geek out and celebrate their past and the nostalgia. And we're kind of representing 80s pop culture. So we're just so grateful that people remember us and want to meet us.
Mistyshin adds they've seen fans of all ages.
It's a lot of people that we actually feel like we grew up together. That's what we hear a lot because we did grow up together. Yeah. But it's also a lot of the younger generations too that were either forced to watch it from their parents or because it's on Prime TV now, so it's so accessible.
The panels, contests, performances, and fun will continue on Sunday from 10 to 5 p.m. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
With the new school year underway and the football season ramping up, students and teams will have a new surface to play on, as Fort William Stadium has undergone a $4 million makeover that spanned the course of the summer. TBT's Josh Morano has the details.
Fort William Stadium is just about ready to go as construction is nearly finished on the rehabilitation project that's been going on over the summer. The $4.1 to $4.5 million project gives the stadium updated turf for the first time since 2010, a brand new state-of-the-art scoreboard, and a 400-meter track surrounding it. While the turf itself is very impressive with the lines and numbers hand-stitched on, Supervisor for Capital Facilities Construction, Kelvin Jankowski, says he is most impressed with the updated technology the field has added.
The new scoreboard will feature play-by-play action. There's an LED screen to both produce advertisements and show video of the game. There's 3 or 4 cameras placed around the stadium that will pick up live action shots. And there will also be new fiber connectivity into the stadium, so there will be able to do live streaming for certain events.
While the field is set to go, the track surrounding it may not look like it. However, Jankowski says the 400-meter running surface is nearly ready with the core patch and base coat being installed now. It is still blocked off to the public, but Jankowski says the track will be completely operational for any upcoming events.
Yes, the track can be used with the first coat. If we put lines down, it can be used like a normal track, and then we would have to put the second coat down and reline it.
We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we can get a full month's worth of work done here. Hence why we have the barricades up right now. This will be a open construction site while still being used by the user groups. So we have a safety plan in place for ensuring the public safety and keeping them to certain areas.
The stage is set and the field is ready for its first taste of action Saturday with some minor league games before the big lights get tested in a Friday night senior high school clash between Westgate and Hammersholt. Josh Morano, TBT News.
Indigenous students celebrated the 8th annual Madadazi orientation at Marina Park today, which was completely free and featured a variety of activities to check out. The event was put on collaboratively through Oshkosh Wenjack, Confederation College, and Lakehead University, and featured a variety of information booths, local organizations, and even some activities for the kids. Musical acts also hit the stage later in the day, including headliner Ernest Muniz. Madadazi's meaning in Ojibwe is start a journey, and planning committee lead Leona Scanlon says that's exactly what the event was designed to do.
This event really helps students get connected to places in the city and lets them know what services are available in the city as well as at their post-secondary institution.
Scanlon says the event was a big hit in the community and expected to see roughly 500 people stop by over the day. Firefighters from across the province are learning a critical skill: how to save people from vehicles. The Ontario Fire College through FireCon is running courses in Thunder Bay this week, showing the first responders how to use the jaws of life. Carl Langdon has the story.
Ontario Fire College's auto extrication course sold out quickly. 19 firefighters from across the province jumped on the chance to train with experienced instructors in this highly specialized skill set. Houston Welsh, a Thunder Bay Fire Rescue Training Officer, spoke to why the opportunity to train with firefighters from rural departments is so valuable.
A lot of people from the more rural departments actually have a pretty solid expertise in auto extrication because they're working the highways, they're seeing very significant crashes, and they're able to specialize in that, so I'm picking up a lot. What we've learned here using the OFC curriculum and bring that back to our department and do everything from training to certifying.
OFC instructor Nathan Murray explained more about the course itself.
This will take us all the way up to technician level. So today we're working on the operations level with the vehicles on their wheels. Tomorrow we're going to be building through progressive training, and we'll be working up to vehicles on their roof, on their side, and in multiple different hazards.
Assistant Deputy Fire Marshal Jeff Van Rybrook had this to say about why the course is such an important offering.
The importance of this is making sure that we have a standardized training that is offered, in all parts of the province, in all areas, so that firefighters are well trained and well protected, so that they can safely do the job they need to do in a moment's notice.
The OFC hosted the event on property owned by local business Gary's Towing, who also provided the Ontario Fire College with wrecked vehicles to enable those training opportunities. Atikokan's Fire Chief Graham Warburton, who's also an instructor with the Ontario Fire College, says he's proud to be teaching the course and mentioned why auto extrication skills are so critical to his department.
Oh, this is absolutely critical to what we do in Atikokan. We cover over 450 kilometers of highway. Yeah, I'm proud to be here. I've been coming to FireCon for 23 years. It is a great training event. It's our flagship training event for the Northwest. We have departments from all over, including Atikokan. A number of our local firefighters are here right now training for search and rescue, some in the vehicle extrication, and I'm proud to be involved in the teaching.
FireCon's auto extrication course will be continuing until Sunday. Carl Langdon, TBT News.
We're now joined by sports anchor Joe Sadowski, and while we have the men's U.S. Open tomorrow, the women's final was today.
Oh, the women's was incredible. Such a great match to watch, and we'll have those highlights and more coming up right after the break.
Well, Joe, even though I feel like we're going to be talking about football, and more football this weekend, we're starting today with tennis and a very exciting final match.
Well, it was the U.S. Open final, and I will say before we get into it, Mitchie, it's great to have you back.
Great to be back.
In the women's final at the U.S. Open, Coco Gauff has been outstanding in the last few weeks, winning at the Cincinnati Open prior to her debut at the U.S. Open. And Aryna Sabalenka, she needs no introduction, as she's ranked as the second best player in the world and has a tough test ahead with the young up-and-coming Coco Gauff.
Even after DC didn't think this would happen, even after Cincy didn't think this would happen. So, I'm really proud of myself. And like I said, there's still a long ways to go. But yeah, I think that I can improve a lot. But how I've been able to manage with the game that I have now is something that I'm happy with.
In the first set, Sabalenka, she's up 5-2 with set point. And on the serve, she's just so good when she's on serve. And she's got Gauff on the ropes, and that return just can't get over the net. Sabalenka, she takes the first set 6-2 in convincing fashion. And she is just incredible when she wins the first set. But Gauff, the young 19-year-old, is not going away that easy. It's set point in the second, and that return from Sabalenka is outside the line, and Coco Gauff is staying right there with the world number 2. Gauff, she pulled ahead in the third set and has championship point in her sight. Coco Gauff wins the U.S. Open in 2 straight sets after she dropped the first. She's the first American to win the U.S. Open in 20 years. The Blue Jays have won 3 straight series as they come into Game 2 against the Kansas City Royals. They're on the hunt to extend their lead in the American League wildcard race.
2019, 2020. There's a drive to deep left, and it's gone! Springer got him. Number 18 on the season, and the Blue Jays have the lead.
Judge Springer, that's a solo shot, and he gives the Jays a 1-run lead. That's his 60th RBI of the season, and he wasn't done there. In the bottom of the 5th, Springer again with 2 men on. He grounds one up the middle for a base hit. That sends Kirk and Varsho home to extend the Jays' lead. It's 3-1 off an RBI double from Springer. And then the next inning, Cavan Biggio, he smashes one to deep right. It drops in the outfield, and Vladdy's on his way home all the way from first. Look at that big man run, rounding third, and he's safe. Unbelievable speed from Vladdy. That's a close call there, but great base running gives the Jays a 4-1 lead. But in the bottom of the 7th, it was George Springer who struck again.
Fly ball well hit right center. And it's gone! The second home run of the game for George Springer.
Have yourself a day, George Springer. Mark 4 RBIs on the day, his second multi-home run game of the season. The Jays go on to win the series against the Royals, and that's 4 series wins in a row with a chance to sweep tomorrow afternoon, 5-1 the final. With the Blue Jays still fighting to maintain that position in the American League wildcard, the Toronto Argonauts are by far and away the best team in the CFL. And this afternoon, the Argos continued their winning ways against the Montreal Alouettes. Chad Kelly leading his team out on the field. Kelly, he's looking fresh, and he's fresh off that extension he signed, making him the highest paid player in the CFL. In the first quarter, the Argos, they're already up by 7. Here's Chandler Worthy on the return. He gets burrowed over, hit hard, and trying to follow his blocks. That's Jack Cassar was the one to pop that loose. And on the ensuing drive, Kelly hands it off to A.J. Ouellette. He's rumbling and tumbling all the way to the end zone. A.J. Ouellette just pounds his way in, and the Argos, just like that, are up by 2 touchdowns. And into the second half, Kelly, it's 23-10. He finds Curly Gittins Jr. over the middle for a huge gain. And Kelly, you'll see in a second why he's a dual-threat quarterback.
2 weeks, including this second half. Kelly pumps, looks to use his legs, runs to the end zone, fire the cannons. Touchdown Argos, and a flag at the end of the play for the hit.
Chad Kelly showing why he's the highest paid player in the league, using his legs to get the touchdown. The Argos would add 9 more, improve to 10-1, 39-10 the final. While the Argos are flying high in the CFL this afternoon, it was also week 2 of the college football season where we saw the highly touted Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Deion Sanders, as they continue to impress. We saw the defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs showing why they're still the team to beat, and the Ohio State Buckeyes showing off their best receiver in college football, Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll start in Colorado, where there's an actual Buffalo on the field, storming the field, getting the crowd and Coach Prime hyped up there. And just 3 minutes left to go in the first half. So much time there for the Colorado quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, and he drops a dime to Tarvarish Dawson for the opening touchdown. The Buffaloes, they come out and win to improve to 2-0. But now we'll head to Georgia, and their defense still showing why they're on another level.
Hatcher still on the sideline, and Samanza is intercepted. That is off the foot of a receiver and caught out of the air by Chaz Chambliss.
We've seen the butt fumble, but that's a heel interception. Never seen anything like it in my life. And Georgia, another crazy pick. They just trounced Ball State in this one. It was 31-0 at halftime, and they have not lost a game since December of 2021 with another dominant 45-3 win. And finally, we'll look at the top receiving prospect in college football, Marvin Harrison Jr. for Ohio State. And his new quarterback, Cal McCord, they played high school ball together, so you can bet they've got some good chemistry. Opening drive for the Buckeyes, McCord, he drops back, he looks left, and guess who? He finds Marvin Harrison Jr. wide open, nobody within a country mile of him. He takes it all the way to the house for the opening score. And later on, McCord on the bootleg, he's rolling right, heaves one down the field. That's a 71-yard bomb to Marvin Harrison Jr., and the Buckeyes, they would just trounce Youngstown State. They improved to 2-0, 35-7 the final. With college football in full swing, that means the NFL is not far behind. We saw that amazing opening Thursday night game where the Lions upset the Chiefs, and tomorrow is the first official Sunday of the 2023 season. So get your popcorn and your couches ready for 8 hours of uninterrupted commercial-free football with my man Scott Hansen.
When wins become losses and losses become wins.
This is the best Cowboys team in a quarter century.
And it's caught for the touchdown, CeeDee Lamb.
I know where we want to go.
This team is really talented, and they have a quarterback who is capable.
Saquon Barkley has just had an amazing kind of resurgence.
Saquon Barkley in for the touchdown.
I believe Danny Dimes can take the Giants to the next level.
They are dominant with high-level talent.
I have no reason to doubt anything that Brock Purdy does.
The 49ers are maybe the most intriguing team in the whole league.
Are we overlooking this Steelers team as a legit AFC contender?
Pickett down the middle, got his man for the touchdown, George Pickens.
What if the Steelers have solved the quarterback issue?
I don't think there's a player in the NFL that people want to fail more than Russell Wilson right now. I don't think there's a quarterback in the entire league under more pressure than Russell Wilson to perform this year because of what happened last year.
Sean Payton will get the very best out of Russell Wilson.
There's always going to be people that question whether you can do it or not. And I think I've proven that throughout my career, what I can do. And I got to do it again.
Oh, that gets me hyped up. There's no question. I love football. It's one of my favorite sports, and I can't wait for Sunday football tomorrow. But what I don't love about the sport is the injuries. It's a part of the sport, I get it, but it sucks when you see a guy who won the Triple Crown just 2 years ago on the injured list. Cooper Kupp of the LA Rams is sidelined with a hamstring injury, and one of the most dominant receivers in the NFL and former Super Bowl MVP will be missing at least the first 4 weeks of his season as they evaluate his injury further. And hopefully it's good news, Mitchie, because
not good news for me.
You've got him on your fantasy team, buddy. Oh, that's not good.
No.
But I mean, big upside for Odell Beckham, maybe.
I do have Odell. He's going to have a great season, and just like my chances winning the league, looks pretty good for weather. Starting to warm up. It looks like fall isn't getting us just yet. We'll have those details when we return. Well, it looks like good news for us. I think we get a little bit more time to try and go golfing.
Oh, good.
The
Yes.
temperature looks like it's warming up once again. Today, not so warm. We're going to head to the region. Rain also impacting all the way in Sault Ste. Marie, just like here in Thunder Bay, seeing some drizzles throughout the day. Fort Frances, fairly colder tonight, down to 7, along with Red Lake, fairly clear skies throughout the day, while Greenstone also at 7, partly cloudy skies heading into tomorrow, where those clouds starting to pick up. Lots of cloud coverage throughout the region, especially out east in Greenstone at 16, so a little bit cooler, along with Sault Ste. Marie at 18, and it's all the way down to 15 in Red Lake with partly cloudy skies, while Fort Frances a little bit warmer, up to 20 with partly cloudy skies on the way as well. At this hour, we are still seeing some light rain, which has been really sticking around throughout the day. Temperature sitting at 16, and the wind really not playing too much of an impact from the northeast, only up from 4 to 6 kilometers an hour. Well, tonight, the wind's going to pick up a little bit, up to 6 to 15 kilometers, but the rain and the clouds starting to make its way out. We are expecting some mainly clear skies with temperatures dropping down to 12. Now, as we look at the rest of the week, Sunday, all the way up to 21 with partly sunny skies. It starts to get a little bit colder as we head into Monday and Tuesday. Those clouds rolling in on Monday, temperatures a little bit down to 17. It's going to continue to get a little bit cooler on Tuesday. Those clouds still sticking around. So maybe not the best days to head on a golf on Monday and Tuesday. But the good news is when we head into the rest of the week, it looks like those temperatures starting to look a lot nicer, jumping up all the way to 19. We're going to get fully sunny skies throughout the day. And the good news is there's no clouds making a return on Thursday, and temperature all the way up to a high of